from the time I joined Intel, the good thing about Intel is it's like a playground with thousands of doors out there, right? Each door leads to something new. And as a company, we'll allow employees to go out and open whichever door they want to and figure out if they want to go in for the journey or they don't. So there's one thing very unique about Intel, which is an employee owns we own our own development. Our managers will mentor, our managers will guide, but our managers will not tell us what to do, or shouldn't be telling us what to do, right? So I have, from the time I joined Intel, I think I have done, when I chalk out my career, it's like a zigzag, because I've done so many different roles. I think the first few years I pretty much did a new role every 12 months, 12 to 18 months. That was the time when there was an opportunity to take risks without any fear. So
in the first how many years?
2 years or so, 2 to 3 years, 2 years. So I tried everything: marketing, sales, retail, whatever opportunity came up, which is excellent because you learn new things, plus you start building networks across all the different groups, which really helps going forward. And then I identified an area that I was very passionate about, which was technology and education. So I did that for a very long time, pretty much around 5 to 6 years. First India and then Asia Pacific. And then I moved into general management. So before this I was managing Southeast Asia. And then this was a natural progression because I always wanted to come back.
And which year was this when you went into a management role?
Around, when did I move to Southeast Asia? Around 2001, 2002, around that. Was it that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last 8 years has been Southeast Asia management. 7 years, and then now here. So it's sort of been. It's not a big change or a big move as such. I've always been passionate about coming back to India. Been very passionate about the Indian market. So this was the opportunity to do that.
So you did all your education and everything in India, or did you?
No. Childhood was a lot of travel because Dad's job required him to travel from country to country. He was in the glass field, and his expertise was setting up the factories. The factories that make the glass bottles and stuff. So typically a project would last around 2 years, maximum 3 years. Like set it up, get it to run, and when it's set up the teams, and then move on to a new project. So I think I must have studied across 7 schools. Yeah, 7 schools in different countries. So childhood was.
And which country do you like the most?
Kenya.
Okay.
And we lived in a place called Mombasa, and that was also in my teen years. So I think it left a big impression. One thing I learned very early in life was change is good. I mean, at that time as a kid, my parents sort of got me used to the concept by saying, because we're going to move, you're going to get that room you've always wanted, and you're going to be able to make new friends and new. So I always looked forward to the moves, and that was great fun. And I think when I look back now, it builds in you that ability to handle change, which is very critical in our environment. So I think that was really good. I was also brought up in a very large extended family. My dad's sisters and their kids, etc. So I was sort of the youngest and the only girl in a family full of boys. So I had a lot of big brothers, and I think that also has helped a lot in terms of who I am, because very early in life you sort of realize that there is no such thing as the weaker sex. You are pretty much as good as you want to be, right? And that's one thing I think, if there's one thing I really thank my parents for. I mean, repeatedly they've continued to tell me that opportunities exist, right? And you have everything that it takes to go for it, same as your brothers. The only thing that will keep you back is your self-confidence. And if you sort of doubt yourself and your ability to go for it because of who you are, whether it started with games or whatever little things we used to compete in, it sort of made a deep impression. And I think that's one thing I really value in what they've taught me.